Hey friends, welcome back to Llamamakayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla, and I want to say thank you for stopping by to visit me this Saturday. So it is Saturday, and I am just crocheting, doing my thing. Big Daddy is working the whole weekend. He's working today and tomorrow, and he has to work some of the day shift and some of the night shift. So he's training a whole new crew. Like, I guess they had a big turnover, and so he's training a lot of people. And so he's got to get the weekend day people and the weekend night people. So he's working half a day shift and half the night shift for Saturday and Sunday, I guess. So anyway, so I'm home alone and doing my thing, crocheting. And so I miss him because usually he's here on the weekends, and not that we do anything great, but we talk to each other. So the other day, after Big Daddy's doctor's appointment, when we were leaving the hospital, he asked me, "Is there anywhere you need to go before we go home?" And I said, "Yes. Would you drive over to the agricultural center and let me get a new book for the fair coming up?" So our fair is put on by the Civitan Club, and our fair is called the Arklamas Fair. And so it's put on by the Civitan Club, and I really don't know all the details of what all that means. But I know that it's a group of people that put the fair on and have that place where you can enter things into the fair. A lot of 4-Hers enter, but also other people can enter also. So anyway, there's a place right across the river that has these books that you can pick up usually in the summertime, and it'll tell you, it's an updated book because they update this book every year. So my book I have right here is from 2018. I probably have a 2019 book somewhere, but this one was the easiest one that I found, and I didn't look any further because I know in 2019, she told me, the lady who's over the whole thing, she told me that she is going to revise the book, and it would be a whole new book for the next year, which would have been 2020. Okay, but our fair did not happen because of COVID, and so, and then it didn't happen the next year because of COVID, right? Is that right? And then the next year, I think we would have had the fair, except we had a hurricane or something, and we had a lot of evacuees up here, and they were staying at the civic centers where they were housing them. And so that's where our fair is located. So the fair got canceled. So anyway, now it's 2022, and we are having a fair. I had looked it up the other day. It is supposed to be like September the 30th through October the something. So I'm excited because I want to enter things into the fair. And I said in another video a while back that my kids did that all while they were younger. That's like what we worked on all year long, was putting stuff in the fair. And they made lots of money doing that. And then I started putting stuff in the fair, and I've enjoyed just doing that, So anyway, I need a new book. Saying all that to say I need a new book because this is 2018. And I know she revised the whole book. So we went over to the agriculture center, and I went in and I asked the lady, did she have a new book for the coming up fair? And she said, no, they haven't brought them to me yet. She said, check back the beginning of August. So I should have them, sometime there. So I'll, wait a week into August, and then I'll call and see if they have gotten the books delivered yet. And if so, I will have to get back over there and to pick up a book. But anyway, this book is broke down into categories, and I don't even know. Since this book, I think the 2019 book, they had it broke down into different age groups better, because in this book, you've got like kindergartners competing with, teenagers. But then they broke it down even further groups so that, it's little bitty kids, middle-sized kids, and older kids, and then, So anyway, So I know I have a more updated book than this, but I don't know where it's at. So I need to get my hands on the newest updated book. Okay, so there's so many categories in here that I can enter in, and I'm going to enter crochet items, in those. I used to do painting, and I have entered photography before and stuff. I don't know that I'll get around to doing any of that. Definitely probably not painting, because that's a lot to pull out to do, and I doubt I enter any of photography. Really, only photography I take is of my crochet items and some calico critters and some dolls. I don't know. I could enter some of those photos. I'll look through and see. Or better yet, I'll get my son Dakota to look through my photos on my phone and see if he thinks any are worthy of sending to Walgreens to get printed. Okay, so rambling all that to say that there's so many different categories in here that I could enter crochet items in. And I do have, because we haven't had a fair since 2019, I do have a lot of items that will fit most of these categories. There's a few categories that I hadn't done anything for. Because you know what? Let me tell you this, guys. We had a fair in 2019. I was loom knitting. I learned to crochet since then. So theoretically, I could enter stuff in the knitting category and the crochet category, except I don't have things for all that. But I've learned to crochet since then. So this has been my first year of actually entering in crochet, because the years before I was entering in knitting. Oh yeah, that's interesting. So, saying all that, I'm just rambling. It's Rambling Saturday. So I have a lot of items that will fit into different categories, even if it's not a crochet category. Say there is, for example, if there is, for Christmas, let me see if I can find that Christmas category. Or say if there's a handmade doll, I might have entered a loom knitted doll at that time. Now I could enter a crochet doll, and other people might make different kind of dolls. But a child's toy. Now, they're not really talking about a crochet child's toy or a knitted toy. They're just talking about a child's toy. You could have made it out of wood or whatever. But I'll be entering, a crochet toy. And there's any other craft. There's a wall hanging, and there's a novelty. No, there's a wreath. There's a novelty. But there's a wall hanging category, and there's a wreath category. And then in the Christmas section, there is a Christmas wreath. And then I think we also, in the last book that I can't find, there is a holiday any other than Christmas wreath or something like that. So I haven't not been making any wreaths. Now the last fair that we had, I did enter 3 wreaths. I entered one that was a Christmas wreath. I entered a Thanksgiving wreath in the holiday other than Christmas. And then then there's a regular wreath section. So I did enter 3 wreaths, and they all 3 got first place. And 2 of them are packed away because they're the Christmas and Thanksgiving one. But I did have this one hanging in my doll room. So this is loom knit. I loom knitted that beehive, and then the bees are loom knitted. And I attached them on here, and I put this in the fair. And so it did win a first place. And it is put on a wire. You can't really tell too much, but it is put on one of those wire forms. So that is a wreath that I entered the last year that we had a fair. So I haven't been making any wreaths, but I do want to enter in those categories. And like I said, I've got a ton of items that I can pick from to, possibly put in the fair. but I want to put things in as many categories as I can. So I know I want to do some wreaths. The wreaths, let me see if I can see that real quick. I think the wreaths, the top price pays out like $10. So I would definitely want to put, things in those higher categories. Anyway, so I have been trying to think about different wreaths I could make, and I came up with an idea, and I'm really excited about it. And so when Big Daddy came home yesterday evening, he came in and he was so tired. He was just like wore out. And then he went back to his den. He sat in the parlor and talked to me for a little bit. And then he went to the den to kick his shoes off and sit back in his chair and relax some. And he looked at his phone, and he had missed a text earlier in the day where Target had texted him that his prescriptions were ready because his doctor changed up his blood pressure medicines and some diabetes medicines and things like that. And so he needs, since he was working the whole weekend, it would be Monday before he would be able to go and get his prescriptions. So anyway, he was like, do you want to go to Target with me? I was like, not really. But he said, come on, ride up there with me. So I rode with him to Target to get his prescriptions. And then I was like, oh yeah, I can run in Michael's and get a wreath for him. So we got his prescriptions at Target, and then we went over to, I said, hey, let me run in Michael's and I'll be really quick because I'm just going in to grab a wreath and I'll be right back out. And so he said, okay. He always agrees. He never, balks at that. But anyway, I ran in Michael's to get a wreath, and this is what I ended up getting. This is a huge wreath. It's like a lot bigger than that one. But I have a lot of things I want to put on this wreath. Let me see if I can tell what size this is. Oh, I doubt I can even read that. Oh, wait. It's a 24-inch. It's by Ashland. Anyway, I think this was about $5, and I did have a 40% off coupon with me, so I used that. They had sent a 40% off coupon to Big Daddy. I didn't get one, but anyway, I used that one. And so I used it. This was about $5, and I grabbed it. They did have different sizes, and I know you can get like smaller ones at Dollar Tree, but I did want a large one for this particular wreath because I have a lot of stuff that's going on this wreath, and I'm going to tell you about it. And then I grabbed this tool right here. It is Celebrated tool. It's 6 inches by 20 yards, and I did go ahead and pick up 3 of these. I was looking to see if it had a color listed on here. I don't see a color for it. Maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Yeah, I don't know if I don't guess I see a color. It just says it's 100% polyester. It's a barcode, distributed by, made in China. Okay, so anyway, I don't see a color, but you can see it's this pretty greenish blue color. So I wanted a color that would represent water. And I picked this. They had lots of different shades of blue, but I thought this would represent water pretty good for me. So we will be putting that on the wreath, kind of like in this style. And I will have to get my son Dakota to help me do that, and get that all, situated on there. He's good at helping do things like that because my hands can only do so much. Okay, so this is the color I picked out. So my idea is I'm going to do an under the sea wreath. Okay, 15 minutes in and I'm just now telling you what I'm doing. I'm really rambly today. So I'm doing an under the sea wreath, and I wanted this to represent my water. Okay, so what I have done is I went through and just picked out a bunch of my books. I have picked out several books, and I've been looking through them and picking out under the sea items in the books. So I have my Hooked on Amigurumi, Whimsical Stitches, and you know this book is going to play a big part in this wreath. So that's what I am doing. I am going to crochet a mermaid from this book right here. I have my mermaid pattern. Right here. Okay, so I'm going to need your guys' help along the way. So as I'm making this, I'll be doing videos and letting you help me decide, you know, different things. So I started my mermaid girl. This is her head and chest area. So now I'm at the point where I'm going to add her bottom part, the fish part of it. So I decided I'm going to use retro stripes. Woo! I think that will look so lovely, and I think that will look lovely on this color. And so the colors I'm going to try to use will be in this palette, not exactly these all same colors, but you know, that will go with this and will look good and pop on that. So this is going to be her tail part. Retro Stripes by Red Heart. And this is a 4-weight yarn. I'm using all 4-weight yarns on this project. And so that will definitely be her bottom half. My question is, this is one thing I am stumped on a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys right off in this first video to help me on that. This is her body. This is her tail part. What color hair should I give her? I don't really want to give her red hair because I think it would clash with this and the whole color scheme. So I'm not really sure exactly what color hair to give her. This right here, this mermaid that I made before, I did give her yellow hair. So I don't know what color hair I want to give her. Now, I'll tell you what else I'm going to be putting on the wreath. I will be making the mermaid. And so, like, I'm thinking on my wreath, on one side here, I'm going to have my mermaid. And then somewhere over here, I probably have like a jellyfish and some of the things of the jellyfish hanging down. I want to have like an octopus maybe sitting here and a little of his hanging down. I want to have a seahorse on here, and I'm going to do some different types of fish just to put around in different places, you know. So I'm going to fill this wreath up with under the sea stuff. I'm going to do some seashells, some starfish, some seaweed, and just different fish and things like that. So I know I'm doing a mermaid, octopus, seahorse, and jellyfish. It will be the main things on here, the main bigger things. And then, like I said, some different fish and stuff. So I'm going to fill this sucker up. And so I know that some of those I have wrote down like colors that I plan to use. Like for the mermaid, I want to use that retro stripe. For the octopus, I want to make it pink. The seahorse, probably yellow with orange. And starfish, coral. And my jellyfish probably be purple. So then I still got seashells and seaweed. And I might even do a Nemo. Just all kinds of different things like that. So yeah, I'm trying to decide what color hair should she have. I don't know if I should just give her brown hair or if I should go out and give her pink hair. She could have yellow hair, brown hair, pink hair or purple hair or, something fun like that. I really don't want to give her red or orange hair just because I think it would clash with this color and the whole color scheme of the whole thing. So you can tell me down below in the comments what you think her hair should be. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm working on. And so I know I have 1,000 projects going already. And I know that, this is the thing. I know that I have 1,000 projects going on. But also, none of those projects have a deadline. Like, I can work on those projects anytime. They'll always be there waiting for me. I am wanting to put things in the fair, and there is a deadline for that. And if I want to do 3 wreaths and finish up, my mandala blanket, because I do want to put that in the fair. And there's a couple more things that I'll probably do purposely for the fair to, fit in categories. But so I'm just going to start on this and work really heavy on this wreath to get it done. And so I'm going to be making some videos along with my process, and putting it together and things. So first I'll probably just be making the projects, and then at the end we'll put it together. But I hope you come along with me. And like I said, I'm going to need your help in helping me decide different colors and things like that as we go. All right, guys. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I know my mind is like, going in 100 different directions of things I can do. But first off, I know I'm going to make this under the sea wreath. I was thinking of doing a wreath and putting a doll in it and put flowers all around her and maybe title that wreath like, How Does Your Garden Grow? So that's a possibility. And that doll will have red hair, I'm pretty sure. And Phoebe's like climbing up my leg here. Say hello. And so I need to come up with another, like a Christmas wreath. I don't know what I'm going to do for a Christmas wreath yet. I can put one of this wreath in like a wall hanging, and then the How Does Your Garden Grow, if I do that one, I could put that in the wreath section category. And then there's a Christmas wreath. So I, want to make one for Christmas, but I need some ideas of like what I can put on it. The Christmas one that I put in last time was, it was, what did I put? It was Santa Claus. I can't even remember now. It might have been Santa Claus, and it was another character, maybe our elf. And they were on each side of the wreath, and then they were holding Christmas lights that kind of draped down into the middle of the wreath. And then I had Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was hanging upside down from the wreath, and he was holding onto the lights that they had strung across it. And so it was really cute. But I need, I think I come up with another idea for a Christmas wreath. I could do a Santa and milk and cookies. I don't know. I need ideas. Okay, guys. So, yeah, I know I'm just rambling and just running my mouth 90 miles an hour, aren't I? I hope you will come back and watch my wreath grow and watch and see how my wreath turns out as I make new projects for it. And I'll be making, like I said, a couple more wreaths. But right now, I got to go finish up the bottom half of her today. And I'll be checking back in the comments later on this evening to see what color hair I'm supposed to give her. Thanks, friends. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Y'all don't know how much you mean to me. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you, guys. Bye, friends.